First of all, we want to know who might be affected if a disaster affects your farm or impacts your farm. And that would include a listing of any owners, family members, employees, regular guests who might typically be likely be on the farm or in the area in the event of an emergency. That's also a great time to take account of anybody that might have special considerations, such as a disability that might impact how a rescue or an emergency response might be conducted for that particular individual. We also need a list of emergency contact information, which this is a tool not only that can be used by the farm family or the farm staff, but also can also be used by first responders. And the types of emergency contact information we're looking for, of course, in many communities, 911, that will contact your EMS, your fire department, your law enforcement. It's also good to have a copy, or not only have the 911, but also have the non-emergency number for your local emergency management or your local law enforcement. Provide a list of your fuel provider, your chemical provider, perhaps their feed company or your veterinarian. Moving on, we need our farm location. Where are you located? Have the 911 address for each farm site. A lot of our farms have separate farmsteads or perhaps several different centers, or might say centers of operation. Some information about what your farm consists of. This particular farm we're at today has beef cattle. There's row crops as well as some row crops and forages. It doesn't have to be terribly specific, but at least let your first responders have an idea of what to expect when they do go to that farm. And finally, farms tend to have a lot of useful resources that can be used in the event of an emergency, whether that's a loader tractor or a water source such as a pond or a creek nearby where water can be pulled to use for a fire. Assemble those resources, have a list of those so that in the heat of the moment, you can remember them. They're right there in front of you. The final part of most farm plans or farm emergency plans that might be one of the more important contents is a farm map. And this map can be something as simple as a hand-drawn sketch. It needs to be to scale as much as possible, or with the many different types of computer mapping programs, download a picture of your farm, a satellite picture of your farm and label. Conduct an inventory of your farm. I would call it a video inventory. Take pictures of your facilities. Take pictures of, say, inventory, your crop storage, your crop facilities, your livestock. Not necessarily to be used as part of the emergency plan, but perhaps just as importantly, can be used in the event of a disaster. And we have a fillable template that you can download and either fill out by hand or fill out right on the computer that contains most of the information that a typical farm emergency plan would need. If you need additional information, we've got a variety of other resources there that'll help walk you through the process.